This is your host for Cooking with Tiffany and Tiffany's Community Spotlight at Home, Tiffany DuBois-Morales. Now, tonight's dinner is going to be spicy. It is going to be very herbaceous, and most importantly, it is going to be reasonably low calorie. So we are going to be doing roasted acorn squash, which don't worry about the seeds, we'll get to that later, with a chorizo and shrimp vegetable saute that we're going to stuff these beauties in. So sit back, relax, and we will be back. All right, everybody, we are back. So in our baking pan, we have our acorn squash, which you can find, as always, at Iovine Brothers Produce, at Reading Terminal Market, or anywhere else that you shop for your produce selections. You want to cut them in half, the length or the half of each side of the squash, and you want to scoop out the seeds that you'll find in the middle to create your stuffing cavity and everything else. The seeds themselves you can season and bake in your oven, and it'll be a delightful little snack if you want. Otherwise, you can incorporate it into any baking that you do, or wherever you decide. But we are going to season our squash very carefully. I'm just gonna incorporate a tiny amount of vegetable oil, because that is what we use now instead of extra virgin olive oil or anything else. If you have a little pan or like a little brush, you want to kind of coat around the entire inside of each piece of squash. You don't need a whole lot of oil or anything, because you're going to be roasting it in the oven for a while. Depending on the recipe that you find, you could be roasting these for up to an hour. But we are going to very quickly season each squash. As always, head to your local spice rack. In our case, that is the Head Nut at Reading Terminal Market. And for this particular recipe, I'm just gonna go simple with black peppercorn, a little red pepper flake, some herbs de Provence, which we haven't used in a while, a little Italian seasoning, and dried rosemary, because I love how fall this turns out and turns into. So we're just gonna flip these this way, because I can't remember if they are meant to be roasted open, but I'm going to go with my gut in this. So We are going to roast the squash for 40 minutes at 400 degrees in our oven. Do not forget to set a timer if you haven't already, and we'll get started on the saute in a moment. All right, everybody, we are back. So I have sliced, chopped, and done what I needed to do for our saute. The first thing, as always, that we are going to do is incorporate our garlic and serrano hot peppers into our Dutch oven. Now, if you want to change the ingredients for said saute for your stuffed acorn squash, that is perfectly fine. I am missing a couple of the ingredients in the recipe that I'm slightly tweaking with, our snap peas and our mushrooms and tomatoes, but in the end, the filling for the squash is going to come out really good, and I'm just going to very quickly and separately cook the shrimp and the chorizo that I have so that it all comes out the way I want it to. So the original recipe does not normally call for, serrano hot peppers going into the pan, but yeah, this is me, and I like having bunch of different dishes at my fingertips. So we are just going to throw in our yellow onions right now, and then do our first round of seasoning. We are back. So as you can see, our tomatoes, onions, mushrooms, garlic, and serrano hot peppers are cooking along. They have released all of their juices, and we're just going to incorporate our snap peas as well. Snap peas do not take a lot of time to cook and are best when, used very quickly so that you can still retain a good amount of texture and crunch as well. After we finish cooking this, we are going to transfer it all into here, where I'll garnish with our fresh herbs, and then we will very quickly saute our chorizo as well as the shrimp. And in about 20 minutes, we will put all of this together in our acorn squash to do a final roast for maybe like 5 minutes or so. So we will be back. All right, everybody, we are back. And check it out. We have our finished stuffed acorn squash with chorizo that you'll find at Gianta's Prime Shop at Reading Terminal Market, shrimp and garlic from Whole Foods Market, and our various produce items and spices from Irvine Brothers Produce and the Head Nut, both of which you can find at Reading Terminal Market. The squash itself roasted in the oven for the allotted 40 minutes. So all I had to do was just, do the saute and stuff it. So bon appetit. I am your host for Cooking with Tiffany and Tiffany's Community Spotlight at Home, Tiffany DuBois-Morales. Bye!